Welcome to the CraveCast. I'm your host, Eric Mack, and once again, I'm live from Taos, New Mexico, in the offices of the award-winning Taos News, which not only loans its very nice broadband to me, it also educates the public, including ignorant bloggers like myself. For example, this week in my hometown newspaper, I want to throw it back up there, Stephen, I learned that there is a place in Taos where I can prepare myself for the zombie apocalypse. And we got a nice article there if you got it, Stephen, and it's about a place called Zombie Tactical, which has all the ammo you need right here in town for when it all goes down.
Oh, is this it right here?
Yeah, right there.
There's the guy.
There's the guy, Zombie Tactical, Taos, New Mexico. Indoor archery range. You can train up, practice your sexy zombie killing moves. So, when patient zero is confirmed and all you Californians come running to find your salvation in the high desert of New Mexico, I'll arrange a tour then.
And I like that there was a prime rib ad at the end. I don't know if you... I saw that at the end of the page. There's a prime rib ad. Keep going down. Oh, no. Did we miss it? It's gone. Did I dream it?
I think it was on the last page.
Sorry, dreamt it.
So I guess Minnesota has been upended as the place.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, there we go. I saw meat.
$9 lunch special.
Yeah, sorry.
Taos Ale House.
I instantly go to lunch ads before I look at pictures and articles. Sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
He's frozen in time.
Oh, he's frozen in time. It's because I said prime rib, isn't it? Now we're all thinking about prime rib.
I'm not.
Are you not?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're coming back slowly.
Yeah, you're slowly coming back to visual. I'm sorry, I just hijacked it before I even knew what I was doing because I said food. All about the food. Oh, and then there's silence.
All right, we have a frozen Eric Mack.
Uh-oh.
Maybe we just introduce ourselves till he comes back.
Right.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Can you hear us, Eric?
No worries. But if you guys can... Yeah, I can hear you guys good. There are 4 of the 38 million Californians that are hunkered down there in the CNET studios in San Francisco. A lot less subject to freezing than I am, apparently. So we got Stephen Beecham, Kelsey Adams.
We're going to go around the table. Bonnie Burton. Jeff Sparkman.
I'm frozen.
I like
Michael
it.
Franco.
Yay! I like my name Frozen. It was like yeah, me.
And also via the magic of
Eric. Eric, so this is how Klingons die, isn't it? Or not Klingons, Cylons.
Okay, I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect.
Okay.
So
Does not compute.
Somebody pick up the slack here for a second.
Okay, I'll pick up some slack. So
So this guy walks in. No, actually, I have a question about the zombie.
Yeah. Let's talk about zombie apocalypse.
Why would you kill the sexy zombies?
Is there such a thing as a sexy zombie?
You said, for your sexy zombie.
No.
killing.
The way you fight them is sexy.
Oh,
Other
okay.
non-zombie people admire your fighting moves.
Okay, that makes more sense, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I thought one of the benefits of being a zombie is you don't have to worry about makeup and looks anymore. So that cuts out your time in the morning.
They all just want you for your brains.
But bump.
Be here all week. Please try the prime rib or zombie.
Oh, prime rib.
See?
No, I'm back to prime rib.
Back for the prime rib.
This is what happens when I see. It's all my fault. All of this is my fault.
Prime rib for your.
I saw
Nothing
prime rib. I didn't mean to.
Freezing.
It's just.
The person whom you're trying to reach.
Oh, that's a
currently
Skype
unavailable.
message. I've never heard that
Please
before.
That's a
leave
sexy
message
noise.
After the beep.
Is Eric in English?
Eric.
We're calling you. Okay, he's calling us.
The
now.
internet is calling you.
Taos,
fun.
New Mexico, in
This
England.
is fun.
I
We got
know.
you back.
Yay!
All right.
Yay! Technology.
T1 line.
Yeah, no
The
kidding,
T
right?
stands for.
Sorry, I talked about prime rib and ruined the show.
It happens to the best of us. So where are we at? Are we all introduced?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're good.
Okay, great. So now that we've got zombie and prime rib out of our system, we can focus on the arts and the sciences. We're going to get a little culture today, but because this is the CraveCast, it's going to be a little bit twisted. So we'll talk Shakespeare, Star Wars, the failing of gravity that failed to take hold. And
Oh God, there he goes again.
of course,
You really.
Mark Zuckerberg and fine art that's literally.
I love
All
when
that plus
I love it when you talk, Eric, because it does actually
I can
sound
see
like
myself freezing. It's disturbing.
It sounds like a Cylon rap. And I'm kind of like trying to think of what music would go well with this. So anyone out there in the chat room, if you've got some music suggestions, maybe we'll do a remix of this later into a rap. It's all going to be arts and culture no matter what we do. So even our mess ups can be turned into art. This is all art. This is an art installation called Frozen.
Now we'll just have to let it go.
Oh, no, that song.
Hey-o.
Oh, earworm.
Okay,
Misery
so
loves company.
who wants to take us?
Well,
on
hey, I turned off my video.
Okay.
Oh, this is great.
Oh,
this
great.
is perfect. Yeah.
Now you're a disembodied voice, just like Hal.
I turned off my video. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I turned off my video. So why don't you just take it away with the Star Wars meets Shakespeare story there, Bonnie?
I purposely was going to bring in the book and recite some, but my iambic pentameter is a little rusty, so I didn't want to ruin Shakespeare for everyone. But basically, there's these. It's a series of books from Quirk Books, and it's Star Wars reimagined as Shakespeare plays. So far, they already got the original trilogy out of the way. So those are available right now. You can get those at your fine booksellers, your mom and pop bookstores, or wherever you choose to shop for books. But the most recent one, and we always get the cover reveal because Quirk Books love CNET. They love Crave. So they gave us the cover reveal for The Phantom Menace. So now they're hitting the prequels. And from what I can tell from the description of the book and from what I've been given, like samples and such, it's going to be kind of like Romeo and Juliet. So Anakin and Padme are Romeo and Juliet in this, and but it's that 3PO where fourth out thou 3PO was their tagline, which is great because when you think about it, C3PO kind of sounds like he's already in a Shakespearean play. It's that lovely whiny British, which I love in Shakespeare. It's when you think about.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The structure's very similar.
Yeah.
There's the high plot and the low plot.
Yeah. When you break down Star Wars, it's very Shakespearean. There's tragedy. There's the two jesters, which I guess would be considered C-3PO and R2-D2. Right. They're the Art Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of Star Wars in a way.
If the moon is my mother, the staff is my father, what is my shoe?
Yeah, see, look at you, English degree kicking in.
If this is my thermometer, where is my pen?
So anyway, these are great books. They have great illustrations inside of them as well. And in a way, I feel like classes like in high school, maybe this would be a great way to get kids interested, like a gateway drug into Shakespeare. Because everything is in iambic pentameter. Everything is very classically written as a Shakespeare play in those books. And they're going to do all the prequels. I don't know if they're going to hit the Clone Wars. I think that would be great. Obviously, we have more Star Wars movies coming our way, so that means more Shakespeare coming our way. I personally would love the holiday special done in Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Talk about a tragedy.
Man, a tragedy. Yeah, I would love to see that, but I think I may be the only one voting for that. I'll have to do a Change.org petition to get that one done, but we'll see.
So I think the Phantom of Menace cover is gorgeous with the Elizabethan ruff. That's very in keeping with the stuff she wears in the movie. What is this rumor about the Samuel L. Jackson part of it?
Oh.
Apparently his character is pretty fun to read.
Yeah, I've heard that. I haven't read the book yet because it's not in my hot little hands, but it is. I do believe his Mace Windu is hilarious. So I'm excited to read these books, and actually I'm excited to see cosplay from these books. I would love to see some Star Wars cosplayers do cosplay costumes of these covers. So do check them out. We have stories about all of the books on cnet.com, and we also have the book trailer for the original trilogy Shakespeare, where they actually do a Shakespearean play excerpt from it in Shakespearean garb, and it's hilarious. So do check it out. The author's online too. Ian, I can never pronounce his last name. It's like Dosher. I'm so sorry, Ian. But he's on Twitter as well, so you can always attack him on Twitter and say, hey, you should do a holiday special for Bonnie. And Quirk Books is great for all that stuff. And hopefully they'll do some giveaways and promotions. So if you're following Quirk Books on Twitter, that's a good way to find out about more of their books. But anyway, so that's coming. I think it's coming out. I want to say August, but I could be wrong.
April 7th?
Is it April? Okay, so I knew it was an A month. So it's coming out soon.
You had a good fighting chance.
I had a fighting chance. So it is coming out soon. So do check it out. And yeah, I love that. I mean, there's the thing about Star Wars. There's Star Wars stuff everywhere. There's Star Wars fandom in everything you could think of. And it was just only a matter of time before Shakespeare got hit. So yay. Thanks, Quirk Books. Thanks for making me feel cultured while reading about droids in the desert. Speaking iambic pentameter.
Okay, so I have an update. I think Eric is restarting. He's restarting his computer. He's calling us back. There he is.
That's like his theme song now. Yay!
Hey, okay.
I like how you're on even smaller screen. Like, check us. Maybe we should do the next episode on Tinder. I don't know. Snapchat.
I did some experiments on Tinder. They didn't go well. They weren't great for my marriage. So maybe we'll save those.
There's a reason it's called Tinder. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Hey, there you go.
There you go.
So did we get through Shakespeare, Star Wars?
Shakespeare's done. We're on to the next thing.
Moving on.
So passe.
So the next thing in the sciences category for this month was apparently there was a rumor going around at the beginning of the year that I wrote about, and it's been going around apparently since 1970 something, and continues to come back, which is that there is a alignment that's always just about to happen around the beginning of the year of the Earth, Jupiter, and Pluto that will magically make gravity stop for a couple of seconds, and it made the rounds last year and made the rounds even more strongly this year during the holiday season. It was like January 4th, I believe, that this was supposed to happen. And yet again, it did not happen. It turns out...
Are you sure?
Well, I don't know. Did anyone...
Was it like 4 a.m. and we're all sleeping? Or was it just like that one time we're at a bar and we think gravity's gone for a second and then it comes back? I mean, that's...
That one day that we all could dunk, you know...
Yeah,
I'm still waiting for that.
We feel a little lighter. I don't know.
See, my gravity issues are usually it seems like there's too much gravity. Like when I get to the top of the stairs, stuff like that. But I haven't noticed being lighter at all.
Well, thanks. Okay, so
was it supposed to be a prolonged thing or just like a really fast?
Yeah, just for like a couple of seconds. And as you could see, like NASA tweeted it clearly, so it must be true.
Must be true.
Must be true.
It's kind of a big deal when NASA, because they don't, they don't put out any BS.
Yeah.
I mean that's a doctored tweet, and
okay.
You know what this reminds me of is one time when I was a young lad, I worked with somebody who was the best liar that I ever met, and what I learned from this person is the best lie.
Was his name Dad?
It was a her actually.
Oh, okay. Even better.
But what I learned is the best lie, the best hoax is always in the details. And this is very detailed. And it's a very specific alignment of Jupiter and Pluto. And it actually dates back to a British astronomer who made a joke on a British show back in the 70s. And it comes back around every now and then on the internet. And now it seems to become an annual thing. And I got a fair amount of play around the inner tubes this year, but I mean I tried, and I tried to jump. I got in the right position in the elevator, and I figured I could go through, do some Willy Wonka style awesomeness, but it didn't happen.
Oh,
so
that's the thing, I mean, I think this is one of those things everyone knows can't be true, but at the same time you want to believe it so badly that you start considering maybe.
I know.
I think I was just lighter a second ago.
Every time I hear something about this is the year that certain planets line up, I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Like every single sci-fi, doomsday, fantasy, Wicca movie I've ever seen that's about lining up planets, and we're supposed to be able to like time travel and skip over gravity and hang out at Stonehenge or something. So
or Tuesday, as I like to call it.
Tuesday. Or I think of every Buffy episode. Like, it's just like one of those moments where, like, okay, what disastrous thing happens when all the planets line up at once and gravity's supposed to go away for 3 seconds? Like, what hellmouth is going to open up? But nothing happens.
It's a wormhole. It's just a wormhole. Well, let's move on to what you might consider the main course perhaps. Michael, why don't you tell us what you wrote about with regards to this fine piece of art?
Using the word main course with this story, I don't know if that's a wise idea. But,
it's the special lunchtime edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a portrait of Mark Zuckerberg that was made out of poop, and it's on display in a gallery in New York called The Hole, which is also sort of equally disturbing. And the artist's name is Katsu, and he sort of has a thing out for Zuckerberg. He back in 2013, he put posters all over New York City, and they were pictures of Zuckerberg with a black eye. So this is his latest shot at him. And I actually just found out just before today's CraveCast that you could buy this painting for $4,500. So
wow, what a bargain for a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Literally.
No offense.
I know.
And oddly enough, there are 2 paintings in the exhibit and made out of feces, and the other one is of a dog. So No word on why that is.
Is it human feces, dog feces, animal? Like, is it?
It's
the artist's own.
feces.
Yeah.
Wow, that's putting yourself in your art.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Eric, I think there's a question in the live stream.
Is this the first piece of art that we know has been made out of?
No.
There's been millions.
No, there
right?
was one guy who like crapped in like film cans or something.
Yeah. I think that's just.
I hear.
Is that just Tuesday?
Yeah. Could have been a critic. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think using your own bodily fluids is a very like historic mainstay of artistic endeavor. I think a lot of artists, especially like I know a lot of artists have used their own blood in their paintings.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But feces, it seems like a weird art investment because I don't know what feces would smell like after many, many years hung up on a wall. I'm assuming you
Roses.
you get it framed with like glass frame. Like does that does the art deteriorate after a while because you have chemicals in your? I don't know. Everyone's different of what leaves their body, but I would imagine any art that's made with something that's biodegradable would not last that long.
I saw an installation one time
that
was
with a fixative or something.
Oh, okay. A fixative.
But I don't know.
Okay.
I saw an installation one time that was made entirely of fortune cookies, and they sprayed that with a fixative, but it did start to smell, it did start to rot, and it got filled with rats.
Oh, so it's more of a kinetic art piece then.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an ongoing.
I mean, we are talking about a lot of fortune cookies. It was a mammoth pile.
Yeah.
The
This was
feces
a mammoth pile as
medium
well.
is cheap, at least.
Yeah.
Cheaper than fortune cookies.
I don't know. I've never. I mean, are there feces art stores on Etsy? Like, I feel like this is something we should explore. Like, what does this mean for
I
the
think
art
that's
world?
called limited run artwork.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Give
There's
it
so
another
many-
day or two.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, how do you display this art? Do you burn a lot of incense? Do you hang? Is this something you hang in your bathroom so it just sort of goes with the territory?
Under
or
a sign that says freshly squeezed.
I don't know. It does have built-in LED lights, though, to
What part
make
of
it
it
look
lights
even more
up?
attractive.
LED
I think,
lights.
yeah.
That's weird.
The medium's described as human feces with LED light frame. So
Oh, so the light frame. Okay, I see it.
you must have had to eat a lot of
So it's
fiber to
not-
get that
It's
out.
just the frame behind it is lit.
So it's not strategically placed sparkles or anything.
nope.
Oh, if only.
Oh.
It has to smell.
But you know, it's pretty good.
It
It's
is
really
good.
good.
Now,
Considering,
did he do this with a brush, or is it hopefully not finger painting?
I
or-
don't know. He's really hard to get a hold of.
Well, yeah, he
he's not a
probably
big
smells
fan
like
of the
crap.
internet and people like Mark Zuckerberg, as you can tell. So I wasn't able to actually find him or a website or anything about him. But I did hear from the gallery, who told me the asking price is $4,500.
Has Zuckerberg commented on it? Do you know if anybody's?
I don't know. I don't think so. I
I
haven't
think
seen
when you
anything.
get to that when you're that famous that people are making crappy art, literally of you. What kind of PR message do you normally have pre-written for that?
Yeah.
It's not something I don't know. Like
Thank you.
I think the art's actually it's really well done, and I'm wondering how long it took him to create that piece.
So many questions.
I don't know.
Right.
I'm just so art's
How
interesting
long
to
did
me.
it take?
And
What did he use?
what did he use? What medium
Right.
did he use? Like, I just, what was I assume the inspiration was he just really doesn't like Zuckerberg. But it's a great piece of art. I mean, the fact they made him smiling instead of frowning, I mean, that's a great
Yeah.
image. Yeah. The hoodie, the shading on the hooding's perfect. So I don't know.
I believe that is technically the word is Shiza eating grin.
Absolutely.
I
So this
love
is
it.
shirt work, basically.
You've been waiting your whole life to say that, haven't you?
Ever since I was
actual-
12, yes.
Yeah. I
The
hope when
actual
I'm an
title of
adult,
the
I get.
painting is
Yeah. What's the title of it?
it's Shies Ahead,
Oh, okay.
but it, in
Oh.
English.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
right,
okay.
because we can't say. Just
Subtle.
yeah, or it's not. He's not a hit.
It's
It
like
rhymes
poop
with
head,
it.
but with the
Yeah.
real word
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you know if this artist has plans to make a whole series of Zuckerberg in different bodily mediums, or is this?
I don't
just
think
it?
so. And I don't know that the rest of his exhibit is actually kind of interesting. He did a series that is a takeoff of the Maryland series that he did with drones. Warhol's Maryland series that he painted with drones, and there's actually like a smoke tube in the gallery, and that just cloaks the entire gallery in smoke, and that's called vape. He's done lots of drone graffiti pieces before. There's a piece of him looking kind of like the Terminator robot that he calls Selfie with different backgrounds.
Oh,
So it's a
cool.
pretty interesting exhibit.
So when you say drone art, he's not painting with drones. The drones are the the subject of his art, or does he use?
No,
I feel like he's
painting with them.
He uses drones.
Yeah.
So when you said drone graffiti art, I'm just now picturing rogue drones doing graffiti, and like all the like police graffiti people are like pissed off.
You could get that really high that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yourself.
I was just thinking,
You
like,
see them jumping.
Shepherd. I was just thinking, how many drones are working for Shepherd Ferry right now? Like, I was just like, or the Banksy Drone Brigade. Like, I think we're on to a whole new art movement. So thank you for bringing that up.
What's his name again,
Yeah.
Michael? Katsu? Is his name?
Katsu.
Okay,
Katsu.
I found something on him.
Uh-oh.
Let's see what this is.
Proceed with caution.
Here's the drone paintings.
Oh, okay, here we go. So it's drone. Oh, see?
Wow.
This is going to be the future of graffiti.
Andre the Giant has a whole new posse, y'all.
A
That's
posse
cool.
of drones.
I love this. This is awesome.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god, tagging is going to be to a whole new level if we can use drones to tag. Wow.
Cool. So the other bit of artsy science fiction-y awesomeness that's coming up, I'm very excited about this. And Bonnie, you've kind of been covering this, moving into the mandatory TV section of the CraveCast that we always get into. The X-Files could be coming back.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah, so Fox executives said last week that they're in talks, which can mean anything. I mean, this is Hollywood, so in talks could mean they met at a bar and just said, hey, we should do the X-Files again. That was a good show. But they're in talks with Chris Carter coming back, who is the show creator, to bring back the X-Files with some of the original cast. Like, we know that the lone gunman unfortunately died, so hopefully they'll come back in ghost form or droid form or something. But I would love to see an all-replicant lone gunman cast. But anyway, David Duchovny says he's on board. David Duchovny's weird because he's got some other stuff going on. He's got a new show called Aquarius on NBC that's coming out, where it's a detective show based in the 60s where they're chasing down the Manson family before the Tate murders.
Ooh.
So he's doing that, but I think that's just a miniseries. I don't know if that's a full-fledged actual show that they're going to do multiple seasons for. And he just wrote a book called Holy Cow, because that's what actors do when they're not acting, they're writing. And
what is that about?
Yeah, I haven't read it yet. It's a novel, but he's promoting it pretty heavily right now. So he's on the press junket circuit. So he's been saying over and over again, yeah, I'd love to do X-Files again. Gillian Anderson, as we know, was in the fall. She's returned to Hannibal. And she's got I think she's got a War and Peace miniseries that she'll be doing for BBC. And she's also a novelist, which we've covered on CNET, because she writes sci-fi novels for a new imprint that she's been working on. So they're all busy. They've got plenty of stuff going on. However, Duchovny did say when he said, yeah, I'd love to do X-Files, that he's not really committed to doing a full season. He'd probably do what he did at the end of X-Files, where he just showed up for half a season, or he was a cameo or something. So, he does want to be on board. Gillian Anderson has said on a Nerdist podcast that she would totally do it. So I think it's possible. I mean, if we're getting Twin Peaks again and we're getting X-Files again, I'm trying to think of all the other shows around that time. Like, I'd love to see Pretender come back. I'd love to see Millennium come back. That's another Chris Carter show, actually, is Millennium.
Yeah.
Family
Matters. That would be great.
That we did. That's called Too Many Cooks.
Damn it. Now it's in my
Too many cooks. Sorry. Yeah, so I would love to see X-Files come back. And there's plenty of fodder for X-Files. There's plenty of stories they could be covering. And we sort of saw that with Fringe, because everyone thought Fringe was kind of X-Files-y in a way. But I would love to see that. So, and by the comment section, and just by when we were promoting the X-Files story, a lot of people were excited for this possibility. A lot of people. So here's hoping that happens soon, and here's hoping that the stories are good and they get a good cast. And yeah, I would love to see it. I don't know. Am I the only one here that is a big X-Files fan?
we're
Okay,
all
cool.
for it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, X-Files.
Michael's a lot more excited about it than he looked right then. I know you are, Michael.
But you know what? I'm going to interject this really quickly. I'm also excited for a show that no one's excited for, which is CSI Cyber. Because I feel like CSI Cyber, which is going to be about cyber crime, I feel like they're going to read a lot of our
cyber crime.
Yeah, they're going to be reading nice. They're going to be reading a lot of our CNET articles. I feel like we could be in the TV writers' room. We could be helping them out because there's so many stories that we write that could instantly be, at least Simpsons episodes.
Mhm.
So, I mean, they could totally be CSI Cyber. So I'm just throwing that out there.
They need any, help
Yeah.
trying to craft a what a sarcastic, geeky kind of person
I'm just
would sound
waiting
like.
for a serial killer who uses drones. That's why I'm waiting for that.
She doesn't
episode.
mean at her house. She means
Yeah.
on TV.
Yeah, I'm not personally waiting. Anyway, so continue with our arts and culture. I'm done talking about X-Files and drone.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement that we're all over that.
Yeah.
And apparently everyone is also all over a show that I don't watch, which is called Arrow. Can somebody tell me what this show is, first of all?
But don't
Can
spoil
I say
it.
something about Agent Carter fast? before
Yeah,
we do that?
Agent
yeah,
Carter.
I don't know that either.
Yeah.
Eric, you need to watch Agent
I
Carter.
know. Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so there's this agent.
Everybody I know loves Agent Carter. It's the kind of 40s sequel to Captain America, so it's a prequel to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it follows Captain America's ex, Peggy Carter, being a kind of, she's got like James Bond fighting skills, but she's stuck in a Bletchley Circle kind of situation where she's not allowed out in the field anymore because no one takes her seriously because women returning from the war and all that. So it's just a very fun period kind of, I mean, whoever wrote it clearly loved 40s movies. And we're going to be doing a post about it. Michelle Starr, hi. Hi.
Close up. Close up.
I've been tracking the gadgets they use on it because it has that pulpy sci-fi background where they have light guns and lipstick, knockout drops. And Michelle, I've seen at Crave Australia, looked up actual real-life spy gadgets made specifically for lady spies.
Yeah.
And we're making a package, so that's going to be
cool.
cool. That's going to be tomorrow.
And there's
Oh, neat.
a link to, I'll send you guys a link from collectorsweekly.com. They did a whole thing on spy gadgets that people collect that are from the 40s that women agents actually used. And so I love the show too. I'm a big fan of Agent Carter. I love that's a female-led show. I love we get to see Jarvis as a human. So we get to see, basically the British butler that turns into the British butler for Tony Stark, but in computer form.
And there's more Howard Stark, too.
There's so many great Stark moments. And I think they did a really good job showing what happens after World War II when, we had all this, like, you can do it, Rosie the Riveter stuff. And then all the men came back and they're like, yeah, we're taking our jobs back. Go back to the kitchen. So it's kind of like that mentality that they have to deal with. The dialogue's great. The action scenes are amazing. Like, she really does kick butt. And
yeah, she uses stuff in her environment. She's very fast, very clever, very determined.
yeah. So, and it just started. So if you haven't watched it yet, and if you have something like Hulu or you have, a capability of watching it online, somehow do, because it's a great show and it just started. And I love it.
And it's very fun and
I like that
fast-paced.
it doesn't really fall into cliche either. They could make the men buffoons, but they don't. Like the men have their place, and they're pretty good detectives too. But and she's kind of a tough character through the whole thing, not just in secret. So I think by not falling into cliche, it's an even better show than I thought it was going to be.
Michael, what do you think of Sousa, I believe his name is, the guy with the crutches?
He's pretty cool. I mean, I think he's going to wind up becoming her ally.
Yeah. They're sort of frenemies at the moment, though, because he seems like the smartest one, and so he's the one that she needs to outsmart.
Yeah, there's always that.
But he also doesn't treat her like a secretary either.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But it's very, there's a lot of 1940s, late 1940s, early 1950s things that pop in, like, all these.
The automat.
Yeah, these automat, and then the hotel, or like these living apartments that are women only,
Boarding
that
house.
men can't live. I mean, we had that in Bosom Buddies, but
Yeah, I was
that's-
just going to say.
that writes itself.
And as a result, it is a very white show. I mean, it's a white boarding house. It's a
Yeah.
white bunch of cops.
Yeah, but they may bring in race issues in there as well, because that was something that was in World War II that they had to deal with when everybody came back. And
And the
no one
Howling
kno-
Command was in the movie.
Yeah,
Or-
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So Arrow, to answer your question, also is
Arrow.
it's based on a comic, and it's are we in third season or fourth season now?
Third season.
Third season. So it's on Netflix if you want to catch up if you haven't watched it at all, Eric. I'm trying not to arrow shame you, but it is out there and you can watch it. And Flash, of course, came along, and
Flash is so good.
Flash is great too, and they've intersected a few storylines. And it's a great show, and you should watch it. But they're starting now to bring in more and more characters from the comic book series that we're used to, like Black Canary and such, into Arrow. And Flash is great. Flash I like because it's got kind of an old Golly Gee Willikers kind of moments to it.
It's nice. It's friendly.
It's friendly. Where Arrow is super dark, Flash is light.
Look,
But
see, there was
when they do
daylight right
crossovers,
there.
They do crossovers.
They kind of illuminate each other in terms of theme and character development. It's actually, they're quite cool crossovers.
Yeah, they're great crossovers. So if you haven't started watching it yet, I'd say CW's got a lot of great comic book stuff coming up, and it's something you should be watching. But you should talk about this because you've been writing quite a bit about Arrow lately.
I did a post about Black Canary, but Michael did a post about something else that I think people might actually enjoy more. Like,
Is
over to
it
you, Michael.
the lightsabers?
Yeah. I mean, unless
Yeah.
that's too spoilerific, I don't know.
Yeah, be careful of spoilers for
Oh
Eric.
yeah. Well, if you haven't seen the mid-season finale, turn off your computer now.
All right, Eric, look away.
Yeah, don't turn off your computer. We have other stuff to talk about.
I'll read the
That's
Taos
true, yeah.
news.
Plug up your ears or something.
Stare at the prime rib ad.
Do you
But
need me
there's
to talk
a
about
Freeze that
YouTuber
screen.
named Dave Jones who did he's done a few of these kind of fan videos where he took the epic battle scene at the end of the mid-season finale up on the mountaintop, and instead of using metal swords, he replaced them with lightsabers, and he did a really good job of it. And the battle's just so much better with lightsabers, as
be fair, it was
most
pretty
games,
All of
right?
them are. All
Yeah.
battles are better with lightsabers. We know
absolutely.
It's like the bacon of the weapon world.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Wow.
absolutely is.
I really
Yeah.
like how he goes whole hog for the intro. Like,
Yeah.
we're not
Yeah,
just doing
he's
a
doing the
fan
whole thing.
film. We got to do the opening. All Star Wars fans do this, by the way, and it's something I find very endearing. They're like, we're not just going to whip into the action. Oh, no. We got to do our opening scroll. We got to
Okay,
do our
I'm gonna
Lucas,
fast forward.
our faux Lucasfilm logo. We got to do the headline. We got to do the galaxy thing
And the wipes.
and the wipes.
All the way.
And so that's Ra's al Ghul's headquarters there that you just saw, and
Yeah.
this is Ra's al
Wow.
Ghul, the head of the League of Assassins.
More thought went into this than Phantom Menace.
has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
You got
It's pretty great looking.
very Force Awakens voiceover.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was exactly the Force Awakens.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh.
That's going to leave a mark.
Actually, it doesn't. It cauterizes it.
Yeah.
Still leaves a mark.
It
You're not
leaves
gonna
a mark.
bleed,
I
but
don't know.
It is a mark.
It seals it.
Yeah.
Nearly time.
Mr. Queen has not yet presented the guilty.
How long
Perhaps
is
he
this,
believes our threats are
actually?
empty.
It's pretty long.
I
Actually.
could talk
Yeah,
about
it's
Arrow
about
while you just
4
run the
seconds,
video.
yeah.
I did.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Kelsey.
Yeah. The video of thank you. Yes. Yeah. So I did a post about the introduction of. Is
Black-
this spoilery too?
It-
No,
it is-
they've
it-
known it all season. Everybody's known this all
Well,
season.
we knew Black Canary was coming because there's been
Yeah.
a lot of promotion in blogs and
Yeah.
on print, so we know it's coming. But maybe don't give too many details away of how.
But
don't
I
know.
can say it's Laurel.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing about Laurel. She was Oliver's ex-girlfriend in the beginning of the series, and they had lots and lots of love triangles that were very, very boring. I'm speaking my opinion now.
Well,
But
they her best friend. I mean, they basically was a big love triangle because she was dating his best friend because we all
there,
thought he was
there
dead.
were many. It went
Yeah.
on forever. It was very, very boring, in my opinion. And Laurel is basically the worst human being in the world,
She
with some tight competition from Ollie himself.
Yeah.
But so they kind of got away from that. They really put her through a lot, and they sort of sidelined her. And things got more interesting. And now they're bringing her back to try and show how she has actually become the Black Canary herself. And they've showed her working out. They've showed her getting trained. They've showed her developing psychologically. While she's still in character as this incredibly whiny, self-centered, demanding person. And so it's really interesting because they've made me root for someone I really didn't like. And I'm actually curious to see whether this... Can they pull this off? Is this the worst decision they've ever made, or is it a brilliant gamble?
And I will say that it's a huge gamble because we're in third season. And who knew if the show was going to last past first season? Because there was a lot of jokes that, I can't believe they're doing this with Green Arrow. His comic book character looks more like Robin Hood than the TV show, obviously. They made a lot of risks by having him kill a bunch of people for the first season and not show remorse. And then I guess they decided, okay, well, we're going to have him show remorse. So he didn't kill people. He just did that thing where he just ties everyone up for the police and
Or gets them in the hand.
Yeah,
Which I find really annoying.
I find really annoying because I don't have any faith whatsoever in is it Central? What's the name of the city that's in Arrow?
Starling.
Starling
I
City.
have no faith whatsoever in the Starling justice system, so I don't. Starling City's justice system's got to be super corrupt. So I don't know why he didn't just kill everyone like he did before.
Yeah, get
But
rid of the bad
the
guy.
key thing with Black Canary is her sister died mysteriously, and that's something that they cover in the season of Arrow of who actually killed her. They think they know, but they don't know if there's mind control involved. They don't know if it's the sister. They have no idea. Like, they don't know if it's Ollie's sister. They have no idea. So it's like one of those things, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. But when she dies, that's the catalyst of making her sister basically decide, I want to be Black Canary. Because her sister was the Canary. So that's how Black Canary came about, is kind of like avenging or taking on the role of this crusader for Starling.
And Laurel always has been a lawyer, a public aid person.
Yeah.
She has always tried to help in her own irritating, hapless kind of way.
And she's a recovering addict, so she's got a lot of dark side to her, and she's very selfish. And it's very interesting to see a character that no one liked, and I will say no one liked her through the first 3 seasons, because we're just like, oh, she's whiny, she blames Ollie for all of her problems.
There was a commenter on my blog post who did like her.
Okay.
No one but that person.
But she's finally coming into this, and this is why I've stuck with Arrow, is because I'm like, I know Black Canary's coming. I know Black Canary's going to show up. I just have to stick it out. And I'm really glad that CW didn't cancel a show before we had this slow burn reveal of a character that a lot of people love in comic books. So thank you, CW, for not canceling a show right away. Unlike other networks that usually do 3 episodes and then cancel it, or not show it at all, Wonder Woman. So it's interesting. So I'm hoping that we get to. I hope it's a good payoff. I hope we're not all eating our words next CraveCast.
I just honestly don't know. It could work out or it could be terrible. Yeah. We'll see.
I mean, it's such a great time to be a superhero fan, by the way, and a comics fan, because we're getting all these networks are jumping on whatever they can and whatever comic they can, both in movies and TV. So I'm excited for this.
Jessica Jones.
Jones is. I'm excited for Jessica Jones. We just did a reveal yesterday that David Tennant is going to be playing the main baddie, which we know him as Purple Man in the comics. He's known as Kilgrave. That's his actual human name, regular person name.
Yes, because that's such a regular.
I know. Well, Purple Man, it could be Prince. You don't know.
Yeah, the artist formerly known as.
Exactly. And I talked about Jessica Jones earlier. Kristen Ritter is going to be playing her. It's a Netflix series. It's 13 episodes. It's a miniseries coming out from Marvel. And it looks great. And I loved the comics. And I loved her character. She's basically, the whole point of Jessica Jones is she was a superhero that's hung up her cape, so to speak, after a disgrace, because Purple Man has this mind control capability. So he basically turns everyone into his puppets, and he basically made her do horrible things, and none of the other superheroes would trust her after that. And she just had a hard time coming back into the superhero world. So she's like, screw it. I'm going to hang up the cape and I'm going to be a detective. It's kind of like what's happening on Castle right now. So she's basically a private investigator. And she's going to have her own agency, and she still has all her powers, but she's just basically just being a human PI. And she's brought into New York City cases that they can't explain. So it's kind of like meta-human type thing that's happening on Arrow and Flash, where it's mostly, I guess, more like Flash, where they're brought in to uncover what's happening in cases that humans can't fathom on their own. But I'm excited for David Tennant playing a bad guy. I think most people know him as the 10th Doctor on Doctor Who.
He loves playing bad guys.
He loves playing bad guys. And here's the thing. We knew him as a bad guy on Harry Potter.
Right.
And he's played bad guys before in different TV miniseries. And if you're a Tennant addict like I am, you've already done your Tennant binging on Netflix and found anything and everything he's even had a cameo in. But we're so used to him being the lovable doctor that it's weird to think of him as a villain, especially such a vile villain as Purple Man, who really does horrible, horrible things to Jessica. I hope this doesn't turn into sexual assault TV show. I don't know. I know that it happened in the comics, so we'll see how far they take it. I know that a lot of the geek girl and feminist blogs like Mary Sue, and I know IO9 talked about this briefly too, is how far are they going to take it? How far are they going to make him as evil as he is in the comics? And I think that's something all comic book shows struggle with, is how evil and believable do we make these characters. So I'm excited. Yay, Tennant.
Yay. All right, well, I'm going to have to definitely check out Arrow, apparently.
And Flash.
Flash for sure.
And Agent Carter. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You didn't want to spend time with your family, Eric, did you?
Are booked until next month.
Yeah, that's all you need. Marvel.
So a few more things. We're about out of time. A few more things I just want folks to check out on Crave that we don't really have time to cover. Definitely look up the post of the Fine Brothers post. I think Bonnie wrote about of seniors playing Grand Theft Auto 5.
I do want to say something really quick about this. When you watch it's Elders React to Grand I'm still thinking Star
You
Wars.
shall not pass this.
Grand
Theft Auto. GTA 5.
GTA 5.
There you go.
Okay, so here's the thing. They've never played it. The only thing they were given were the controls and how to use the controls. They know that it's a controversial show, but they've never played it. The best part of this is they stop for stop signs. And they obey traffic lights, and they were very adamant about that. They're like, "Well, you have to. It's a stoplight. It's like you have to." Like that, and it took them forever to get out of the driveway. But here's the thing with this game: it's so controversial, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's bad. You shouldn't let your kids play it." Blah blah blah. Once that they get going, and once they figure out the controls and everything, they love shooting people. They had so much fun randomly shooting strangers. In fact, one of them's like, "I picked a knife as my weapon because it's more personal." And I was just like, "What?"
Classic.
What the hell?
See, that's the touch.
I know.
The
So
extra caring
these
touch.
are our parents and grandparents playing this game. Oh, look at her. Look how.
And that is why it's the greatest generation.
Yeah, and it's great.
So that's totally worth checking out. And also, a post I wrote about Neil deGrasse Tyson sharing the meaning of life on stage with a 6-year-old. It's like a 5-minute long video, but it's totally priceless. So check that out. And how about we give there it is right there. And how about we give the last word of the CraveCast today to Michael, and just tell us briefly about your great science experiment in the high-tech shirt that you wore for a month.
Oh, well, I'm wearing it now, actually. So it's this kind of like rubbery, spandexy shirt. It's my wife called it the Thundershirt, but the real name of it is it's from a company called Align Med. And yeah, I mean, I just write all day, and my shoulders hurt, my wrist hurts, my elbows hurt, and I was getting kind of sick of it, and came across this shirt, and they were nice enough to send me a test version of the shirt, and I wore it for about a month, and in about a week the shoulder pain went away, and in about another week a lot of the other pain went away. So it's an awesome thing, and now I wear it sort of whenever things are acting up, and I'll wear it for a day and feel pretty much better by the end of the day. It also, they said that it improves your energy, which I thought was just a bunch of bunk, but somehow it does. Just being squeezed all day keeps you going. Just keeps you, keeps your energy
Always works for me.
Oh, that's true. Is it like an acupressure thing, or what is it exactly?
It has,
What's the pitch?
do you remember during the Olympics you saw a lot of athletes putting those kind of they look like giant Band-Aids on their muscles? So it has that kind of
big pieces of tape. Those colored
Yeah, big tape. So see, it's got that kind of stuff built into it. So it pulls your shoulders back and puts you in better alignment. You almost feel a little uncomfortable if you slump. So
well, yeah, improving your posture will help everything right down to your hands.
Yeah, and actually, chiropractors use that tape. Like when I threw out my back, I got all taped up on that tape, which is very adhesive. By the way, don't pull it off on your own. I learned the hard way. And I am very intrigued by this shirt, so I'm going to get one for the ladies. I'm going to try the ladies version and see if it helps me, because I throw out my back constantly and I'm writing constantly. So you inspired me to get the other shirt. So maybe we'll do a female edition review of the shirt, and I'll let you know how it worked out for me. But I'm totally going to try this because this is something I think and this is affecting a lot of workers right now who telecommute. So not just writers, but anybody who works at a computer all day long. And especially if you're in an office and you just want better posture. I think this shirt's amazing. So thanks for that doing the hard work for us so we could test it out. You were our guinea pig, so we can do it too. So thank you for that.
yeah, sure, my pleasure. And the guys are great. The guys who run it, they have tons of research information they're happy to share. And the guy just kept writing me email after email saying how happy he was that I felt better. He wasn't even, sort of as pleased with the coverage as he was with the fact that I got better using the shirt. So they're a good team.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Cool, awesome. Thank you, Michael. In fact, I might check that out as well. I think that's about all the time we have for the CraveCast this month. I've been your technologically inept and fairly ill-informed host for the month, but we'll do it again.
Have you been internet, bro?
In February. I got to go find my internet. I don't know where it went. One quick correction. Kelsey said something about the worst person in the world. That's actually Bill Belichick, and that's the only comment I'll make about the Super Bowl this week.
I speak loosely.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Everyone be safe. For Stephen Beacham, Kelsey Adams, Bonnie Burton, Michael Franco, and Jeff Sparkman, I'm Eric Mack. That's been the CraveCast. See you in February.